to perform various IAC activities in every sector. And I welcome Dr. Umesh Samuel Jabasilan, sir, in his absence, Vice Principal Projects and IAC Vice President. And I also welcome Dr. J. James Manogaran, sir, IAC Coordinator and the Head of the Department of BCA. And I am happy to welcome today's Chief Guest, Dr. A. Aloysius, sir, Assistant Professor, Computer Science Department from St. Joseph College. And he is having a rich experience of about 18 years of experience in various departments of computer science. And he has completed his BSc Computer Science in St. Joseph College in the year 1993, and MSc Computer Science in 1996, and MPhil in 2004 in Bharat University, and a PhD Computer Science from St. Joseph College, Bharat University in the year June 2013, and he has completed CETEC in 2012. And he has published various papers in different journals, and completed various certification courses, and he has also credited, to his credit, he is also having a book chapter contribution for computer literacy in chapter 11 from St. Joseph College, and environmental studies from St. Joseph College, and also he has completed a minor research project from the UGC sponsored in the year 2011, and he has organized various workshops, and he is specialized in software metrics, data, and cloud computing, and he has more than 52 papers published in different journals, including international journals, about 35 articles, and international conferences, about 13, and then national level 4 and book chapters 1 and research projects 1. And we are happy to have you as a chief guest today, sir. Welcome, sir. And at the same time, I welcome all the department faculty members and the students of BCA department for this wonderful session. I hope this session will be much useful to you all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Learning and innovation go hand in hand. The arrogance of success is to think that what you did yesterday will be sufficient for tomorrow. I request our chief guest, Dr. A. Aloysius, sir, Assistant Professor, Innovation Ambassador, St. Joseph's College, to take over the session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be associated with Bishop Iber College, in particular the BCA department. So I extend my thanks to the head of the department, Dr. J. James Manogaran, IAC coordinator of the department, as well as the co-conveners, Ms. Bhanumati, Ranjit Kumar, and Sridevi, for giving me an opportunity to share some of my views on this topic of innovation in the digital era as a innovation ambassador. So I extended thanks to all the management of Bishop Iber College. Thank you very much, and I will move on to my presentation. Is the screen visible?
No, sir.
I think it will be visible now.
No, sir.
Is my presentation visible?
No, sir.
I think it should be visible. I'm in the presentation mode only.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're presenting. Yes, sir.
Is it visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right, okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so today's agenda, I'll be touching upon what is innovation, what is the need for innovation, and I'll be touching on the Ministry of Education's Innovation Department has announced in the 2000 year National Innovation Startup Policy. I'll be touching upon what are the importance of this particular policy. And as requested by your coordinators, I'll be touching upon something about what is hackathon, what are the rules, procedures, and finally, I'll be touching upon the core area, that is innovation in digital era. So this is going to be my agenda. So let me start off with what is innovation. These days, probably in the 21st century, the buzzword is innovation. Whatever field that you are touching upon, this keyword of innovation is key to success in any field that you're going to excel. So the term innovation refers to a new way of doing something. It may refer to be to incremental or emergent or radical or revolutionary changes in thinking or the products or the process or in any organization. So innovation is thinking or in little terms you call it as out of box thinking. It is not the conventional way by which many of them are thinking. You think differently. That is called as innovation. So this picture gives you what is the need for innovation. There is a way to do it better always. Whenever you do things, you know that there is going to be a better way. Here you see the umbrella is used for one purpose. When the flood level increases, naturally you will have to do something for it. You reverse the umbrella and use it like a boat. So this is a situation that needs innovation. So when you are encountering a problem and when normal solution is not feasible in this situation, you try to think out of the box and come out with a solution which is going to be innovative solution. So innovation is nothing but creativity plus commercialization. Basically, you should need to understand the difference between three common words used in the today's context: creativity, invention, and innovation. There is a minor difference between innovation and invention. The first time when you find out a new thing, you call it as invention. But it does not stop there. The invented thing can be modified and it can have various changes so that it is going to be fit for the current scenario. So if you want to have innovation, you should have a creative thinking and you should have an idea about commercialization. So without commercialization, nothing is there in innovation. So you think of a new thing that can be commercialized as a product, process, or service with a new idea. So probably this table will give you a difference between what is creativity, invention, and innovation. So creativity is a novel idea that are communicated, useful, and appealing. So somebody comes and say, I have a new idea. So if you are going to use this particular idea, you can solve so many problems. And invention is this creating something new. This is in the idea level, and you try to create that particular product or process or thing. And if it is being created for the first time, then it is invention. And making the invention into a product form so that it can be commercialized is innovation. So invention, the creative thinking has to be converted into a commercialized product, then you call it as innovation. So it should be made usable. It should be made usable. And similarly, there are different categories what creativity is and invention and innovation is. So creative is a fuzzy idea that can be clarified until it is made into a prototype. So prototype is you conceive an idea. So this is going to be my idea if I can implement it. So converting in the ideas into a model is called prototype. So this idea is being created by a person who is going to design a prototype, a single model, and that model can be converted into an innovative product by making it commercialized. So creativity is the idea. If you are going to apply money to create that particular product for the first time, then it is invention. And using this idea to make money is innovation. So creativity is the idea. You make money out of this idea by having this innovative methods. So converting the idea into commercialized product. So creativity is based on thinking of new things. Invention is based on primary scientific skills. Using the scientific skills, you convert the idea into a prototype. And innovation is based on a broad set of strategic marketing and technical skill. You convert it into a product that is being used or making it usable. So if you can clearly differentiate between what is creativity, what is invention and innovation, then we can move on. I can show you somehow relationship between creative thinking and innovation. So here you have fresh ideas. You apply the process of invention and convert it into a prototype. Then you say you have invented something. But if you cannot stop just by inventing something, it has to be made usable. So on the invented thing, you apply the process of innovation and you come out with new innovative ideas. So invention is the first occurrence of an idea. So invention is the first occurrence. The person who first conceives the idea is called as an inventor. But the invented thing can be converted into many usable formats. So invention is the first occurrence of the idea for a new product or process, while innovation is the first attempt to carry it into practice. So this slide will give you the difference between invention and innovation. So somebody invented the wheel. It is long ago, age-old days, people invented the wheel. That is first time they said this wheel is a device by which you can use it for so many things. But innovation made it to use it in different places. You use it in bicycles, you use it in motorcycles, cars, and other things. So invention of wheel is one time, and it has been innovatively used by many areas. Similarly, one person innovated the concept of integrated circuits. It is by using these integrated circuits, you are able to have such a lot of devices which are innovative devices which are being used in the world today. Similarly, someone invented the laser beam. So you use the laser beam for various purposes, medical field, laser printer, laser projector, and so on and so on. So invention is done once, and it is the first person who conceives the idea and bring it out as a product is called as an inventor. But the invented product has to be converted into products by means of innovation. So that is the need of the hour. So students should have the capacity of creative thinking, and you should apply your knowledge to convert the conceived ideas into new products. So I can give many examples how this innovation has come into picture over the years. So you can see the picture. So this was the first mobile phones that were used a few years back. But you see the application of innovation on these products has made several changes, and we have such a lot of smartphone in our hands today. It is because of the innovative thinking of persons. Similarly, when Thomas Alva Edison invented the bulb, he took different samples before he found out tungsten as the filament, and it was very successful. But we did not stop with this incandescent bulbs. The technology has gone through such an innovation that we have CFL or LED bulbs and so on and so on. So innovation has brought out the minimizing the energy and maximizing the output. So the net idea is you have a problem, and that problem has to be solved by means of applying some innovative ideas. Huh? Move on. You are not able to see the picture, okay?
Yes, sir. Now it's slides moving, sir. Yes, sir.
Just a minute. Okay, shall I continue? Is it visible?
Yes, sir. Is it visible, sir?
Right.
It is visible.
Okay, there's some problem in the network. Okay. Right, the relationship between creativity, innovation, and invention is the fresh. Okay, slow. Okay. Full screen. Right, the relationship between creativity in invention and innovation is fresh ideas, apply the process of invention, and you invent a new product. Invention is the first occurrence of idea for a new product or process, while the innovation is the first attempt to carry it into practice. So the invented thing has to be converted into a product by applying innovation. So there are many examples where how this invented products has been converted into usable products. Like somebody invented the wheel, and innovative ideas applied this concept of wheel to different devices like bicycles, motorcycle cars, and so on. And somebody invented the IC, and it has been used by many smart devices, including your smartphones and so on. And somebody has created the laser, and you applying the concept of laser technology. It has been used in the medical industry, laser printing, laser display devices. All these are innovation applied on the invented product. So invented products are some. These are first occurrence of the particular idea, and using that particular invented things, you can apply innovative techniques and use it for day-to-day purpose. So this is one example how your mobile phone has evolved. So a few years back, this was the size of a mobile phone, and you imagine the size of the mobile phones that are available. These are applying innovative techniques on the products that is invented already. Or your bulbs, you have electricity invented by Thomas Alva Edison. Then he used a tungsten filament, but people did not stop with that. They found that this is power consuming or energy consuming. They wanted to minimize the energy. So innovation took place in the bulb industry. We have LCD bulbs, CFL bulbs, and whatnot. Technology or innovation has emerged in this particular field also. So these are some areas where innovation has took place in the latest era. So you can go through this particular things and tell me what it is. Self-cleaning clothes. Have you ever heard about it? Or electricity conducting cement? Or this Dolphy pocket washing machine? Any of such device. Have you heard about it? You can interact with me also. I think I can be bilingual. இத பத்தி யாராவது கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கீங்களா? No response. Have you heard about self-cleaning cloths? Okay. I'll tell you, these are the latest innovative products. Self-cleaning cloths are under research, and these cloths need not be washed. If you can expose these cloths to the sunlight, it gets cleaned automatically. So it is a technology of nanoparticles being used in the textile industry. It is because of the innovative thinking. So people thought of bringing in this nanotechnology into the textile industry, and they have come out with a new innovative concept called self-cleaning cloths. So these cloths have a type of material which, when exposed to sunlight, it reacts with the organic matter that is deposited on the cloths. So dust or organic matter that gets deposited on the cloths, and just you expose these cloths to the sunlight, and it gets cleaned by itself. Or maybe this Dolphy pocket washing machine, it uses ultrasonic technology, so you need not wash this particular cloths. This particular Dolphy washing machine is a type of small device. You can use this particular device to move around the cloth so that it can clean the entire surface without dipping the cloth into the water. So these are technological innovations that are being in the research area. It will be soon available in the market. Probably it is not marketed yet, but the technology has already evolved. These are some concepts. And you have 3D printing of biological materials. So you can have artificial bone used in the surgery. So that are manufactured by these 3D biological printing machines that can be used in the place of bones during the surgery for persons who met with the accident and so on. You can also, not only bones, you can prepare so many biological materials by means of 3D printing. Exactly, if we can give a model, the 3D printing machine will print the exact biological device that can be used with the human bodies also. Or you have Google Glass. It is a wearable smart device which can be operated on voice command. You need not carry your mobile phones wherever you go. It is sufficient that you can wear a glass or Google Glass, and you can give your voice command so that the glass will act as a LCD screen, and whatever you see it in your smartphone, that can be visualized by means of a Google Glass. And you have a smart device like a needle-free diabetic care. Usually when you want to find the glucose level of a person, you will have to take a blood sample, and then only you are able to find the glucose level. And the technology has now come out with an innovative idea of needle-free diabetic care. You just place your hand on top of this device. It will tell you what is your blood glucose level. And you have vein identification. You have this thumb impression identification used as a biometric. Still more secured way of giving biometric is vein identification. You can trace the entire palm on top of that particular device. It will take an image of your nerves, and this is going to be identical for each and every person. So that is going to be used in the biometric industries. These are some of the innovative techniques that are being emerged these days. So many new unique ideas are making their way. It is clear that manufacturers and marketers are listening to the needs and wants of the customer and are making new products to meet the new demands. So demand is from the customer side, and the innovators are looking at these consumers and looking at the wants of the customers. What are the things that is needed for a customer? And definitely the people who are critically thinking are coming out with innovative ideas. Everybody can contribute to a new product development, either through research or development or through their focus, energy and commitment to their role. And student, definitely they have a moral responsibility. Since they are learning their favorite subjects, they can apply these subject ideas and to get innovative ideas, and these innovative ideas can be converted into prototype, and the institutions are going to have startups, incubation centers, pre-incubation units and so on, so that these ideas conceived by the students can be converted into a product. So for this reason, the Ministry of Education has come out with so many initiatives. So Ministry of Education has come out with so many methods by which these higher education institutions can contribute to this innovation. So the various methods by which the creative ideas of higher education students are nurtured is by means of the various programs that are sponsored by the Ministry of Education. One is Smart India Hackathon. So creative ideas that are nurtured from the higher education institution, whether it's going to be arts, science, engineering, technology institutions, they are encouraged to create their own innovative ideas, and then they can come out with a solution. And this Smart India Hackathon is a program where the students can register through this IIC, Innovative Institution Innovation Council, through which this particular seminar is being organized. This program, Smart India Hackathon, is being organized at a national level. And similarly, it is also being conducted in the international level. You have international hackathons. Students who are selected in the national level Smart India Hackathon are encouraged to compete in the international hackathons. We have tie-up with Singapore and some of the international institutions where our own students and their innovative ideas can be shared, so that you gain international importance also. And this Institution Innovation Council is a unit that is being installed in every higher education institution in order to nurture this particular culture of innovation among students. இப்போ இருக்கக்கூடிய ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்கள் மத்தியில் நிறைய innovative thinking, but they do not know how to convert this innovative thinking or ideas that they have to be converted into a product. And the Ministry of Education, formerly under MHRD, now they have named it as Ministry of Education. They have set up a separate council in order to encourage the higher education to promote innovation among students. So that they have created this Institution Innovation Council, and this Institution Innovation Council, through this council only, this Smart India Hackathon or this international hackathons are being organized. And the other initiative of Ministry of Education is Atal ranking of institution on the innovation achievements. So your institutions are going to be ranked. You have the other ranking, NIRF ranking, India Today ranking, and so on. They are taking the data from the institution, and they are ranking the institutions based on these informations in the various ranking institution. Similarly, this Ministry of Education is going to rank the colleges with 2-star, 3-star, 5-star status on the institution's innovation achievements. And how are these innovation achievements going to reach the Ministry of Education is through this Institution Innovation Council. So you will be given exposure, you will be given orientation, lectures, webinars, and so on, through which they are going to give you an idea. If you have an innovative idea, how to nurture it, how to convert it into a prototype, and if your institution is going to have an incubation center or pre-incubation center, that can be used for converting your ideas into prototype. So once you are ready for commercialization, then the startup activities are being promoted by the central government as well as many private agencies. If you have an innovative idea, if it gets selected in the Smart India Hackathon, industry people are ready to invest money on the proposed idea, and definitely you are going to be the benefiter. Your institution is going to be benefited, and definitely you can commercialize the ideas. So students will have ideas, but they will not have money to convert their ideas into prototype or business plans. And the central government is taking initiative to convert all the ideas that you have that can be converted. They are ready to help in doing it. So for that purpose, they have come out with a National Innovation Startup Policy 2019 for students and faculty. Not only for students as well as for faculty also. Even if the faculty is having an innovative idea and he wants to convert it, they are allowed to do such projects, and they can have their own startup also. So some more information on this National Innovation Startup Policy 2019 is here. So this is the thrust areas of this National Innovative Startup Policy 2019. A higher education institution strategies and the governance for promoting innovation entrepreneurship through this IIC, and creating an innovation pipeline pathway for entrepreneurs, and building organizational capacity for human resources, and incentives are given in order to encourage. And finally, they will arrange for a collaboration or a co-creation and business relationship with the industry expert. So if the higher education is ready, they can follow this particular pipeline, and they can end up with the industry institution collaboration so that the conceived ideas can be converted into products. And they have also formed norms for the faculty and the students driven innovative startups. So what are the rules and regulations that they should follow, and incentivizing faculty and student for the enterprise. So you are given incentive, or you can do a small project and things like that. You can earn credits into your academic setup also, and there are those rules and policies for students and faculty is being listed out in the policy, startup policy. And you can have an incubation, pre-incubation support. Incubation and pre-incubation are nothing but converting the conceived ideas into a prototype. I think you understand what you mean by prototype, incubation, pre-incubation, and so on. You think that you are planning to have a new innovative product to be designed. You have an idea. First, you will have to convert your ideas into a small display type. Only by looking at the working of the small model, people can understand how your idea is going to function. So that is called as prototype. So for converting your ideas into prototype, there are different mechanisms available. This is being cultured by the incubation and pre-incubation units. some of the institutions are having this incubation and pre-incubation facility available in their higher education institution. Even if your institution does not have one, you can have a collaborative approach with any of the neighboring institution. For example, we can have a collaborative arrangement where this incubation and pre-incubation units are available with NIT, National Institute of Technology. It is available in the Sastra deemed university, where the central government has funded and they have created this incubation, pre-incubation place there. So students of IIC of any institution can go and use those resources in order to convert their ideas into prototype. So even if it is not available in your institution, there are facilities by which you can use the institution that are nearby your institution that have already set up an incubation or pre-incubation unit. And if your institution is also willing, the central government is funding in order to create incubation and pre-incubation units also. So the major highlights of this policy are creation of innovation fund for supporting innovative projects and startups by allocating minimum of 1% of institution budget. So people in the administrative side, they will be knowing. So the annual budget of the institution, 1% of that amount has to be set up for innovation fund. So if any student or staff is willing to do some innovative project, so that fund has to be given to those staff or student in order to encourage them to do such activities. So academic break for a semester or a year to work on the startups. If any student is willing to do a innovative project, he can take a break in a semester. One semester, you can leave the institution, do this particular work, and you can come back and continue your studies. So this is being provided by the Ministry of Education. 2 to 9.5% UPT stake in the startup and company by the institution's incubator. So you try to create a new product and you make money out of it, and the institution will have only 2 to 9.5 share of that particular new startups. So you create a new startup company based on your institution, and the institution will provide you all such facility for making your company run, and you will be given, or the institution will be given, only 2 to maximum of 10% equity shares to the institution, and the remaining 90% of share will be borne by the innovator. So the innovator and the institution will have a share in the new product that is being launched, and services to be offered by the institution in lieu of this equity fee based on zero payment model. So for this equity model, institution will provide you infrastructural facility for the new incubator that you are going to begin. So I have touched upon the 2 topics, and 2 other topics that I'll be going through is the rules for hackathon. So your faculties wanted to share some information on this hackathon rules and procedure. Let me give you. So what are the things are needed if you want to participate in a hackathon? Student teams will be judged on the following criteria: pitch, pan, delivery, and budget. Pitch is the area in which you are going to propose. Plan is how we are going to do it. Delivery, how this particular conceived idea can be converted into a deliverable product, and what will be the cost of making a prototype. So all these are essential points when you are going to submit your proposal to a hackathon. What are the mandatory items to be included? All topics must have a connection to the public health, or building healthy communities, or using technology to innovate and solve the challenges and problems we face as a country resident. As the Indian citizens, what are the problems faced, and how you can use this technology to solve the problems related to health or building healthy communities and so on, or to come out with a solution for the challenges that we face in the country. So these things should be included in your proposal. So these, you'll have to submit these things. So when you apply, you'll have to submit these things. A concept in 2 minutes about the area, and a 1-page narrative abstract, a 1-page scope of the work with a draft budget to take a proof of concept of this innovative project, a slice of technology that will be used to distribute or capture the stories or to raise awareness, and all concept will need to link back to the story or concept idea to a location or a community in the country. So if you are taking a problem, you should narrate your problem by means of a small story, and your solution should be directly solving the problem of that is available in the country. And you can form a team of 2 to 5 persons, not more than that. And those 5 persons you can have like this. You can have a project leader. For graphic design and communication, you can have a person. For computer science application and digital graphics role, you can debut a person. Communication. So with the hackathon and other people, if you want to communicate, you can have a person to communicate. And you can have a person who will take care of this relations between the health researcher role. That is, what does this mean is, you can form a team of students from different areas. If you are going to represent the institution, one computer science student, one electronic student, one MBA graduate, like that, you can form a team where the roles can be defined. So these are the roles played by different people involving as a team. So what can be the themes that can be used for submitting a proposal? What are the areas? So these are some of the areas, but they are not limited to. You can give any area. Most probably the wanted areas are accessing healthcare, accessing mental health services, food deserts, accessing healthy food, how you can reach out, agriculture bounties and labor, toxic stress in the country, how to minimize the stress in the country, crisis. If you are facing a crisis in your locality, what could be the solution? The air we breathe is being contaminated, any solution for air contamination. Homelessness, many people are living without homes. Is there any feasible and amicable solution for it? Sexually transmitted diseases. So if you have any solution or innovative idea of overcoming this, you have obesity and health, under which you have type 2 diabetics, any solutions to overcome this particular diabetics, or food insecurity. People are starving. Any mechanism, innovative ideas by which you can overcome this food insecurity. These are some thrust areas on which you can submit your proposals. So how will you judge? So you have submitted a proposal, and you will be asked to display your prototype and demonstrate. And during that phase, you will be evaluated. And the scoring breakdown is this. So there are 4 teams that will visit your stall and evaluate. One team will be technology experts. The other team will be a community impact, social relevant people. They will be judging how your proposal is socially relevant. And the technology people will evaluate how far it is feasible technologically. The proposal is feasible, and the presentation team will judge how you present yourself. So the work, the prototype, the demonstration, how you present your work, that will be evaluated by a team. And finally, a team will evaluate your budget and scope of work. So how far it is feasible, and the budget that you have proposed for converting the prototype or converting the prototype into a product. So you should have to give a budget. So based on these particular topics, you will be evaluated, and the total score is adding all together: technology team marks, community impact marks, presentation, and the budget and scope work. All these teams will give their equal marks. So you'll be evaluated. For example, if it is 30 marks for all, so out of 120, what is the total score? Based on that, you are going to be ranked. So this is some information on what is hackathon, what could be the proposal that you can submit to for a hackathon, and how it is going to be evaluated. And finally, I'll come to the theme of innovation in digital era. So far, we have seen what is innovation, how innovation is being nurtured in the higher education institute by means of the NISP policy 2019, and what is the role of the Institution Innovation Council, and so on. And what is innovation in digital era? So innovation has been there every time when man or people wanted to do something in a smarter manner. This innovation was there. But what is innovation in the digital era is, so the technology feasibility has exploded in a huge manner in such a way that the innovation in digital era is different from the innovation in the age-old days. So how are you going to compare the innovation in the age-old days with the innovation in the digital era? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this will be the last component of my topic. I'll be talking more on these things. So innovation in digital era can be classified into three important factors which has changed the innovation in the digital era. One is shrinking of product life cycles. What is a product life cycle? So a product life cycle is nothing but the time taken for a particular product to enter into the market, and that becomes absolute and leaves out of the market. ஒரு பொருள் மார்க்கெட்டுக்குள்ள என்டர் ஆகி மார்க்கெட்ல இருந்து இது அவுடேட்டட் ஆகி வெளியில போற வரைக்கும் இருக்கக்கூடிய டைம் ப்ராடக்ட் லைஃப் சைக்கிள் சொல்லுவோம். That has shrinked to a large extent. I can tell you many examples stating how this product life cycle has shrunk. Some 10 or 15 years before, when I bought a new mobile phone, I used that particular mobile phone, I remember, for 4 to 5 years. After that only I changed my mobile phone. But after that, I have changed my mobile phone almost 7 to 8 times within this 3 years. Within this 3 years, I have modified or changed my mobile phone 7 times. The reason is product life cycle. You buy a mobile phone and use it for 6 months, and you find that all the features that are available in the market are outdated with the phone that you have. That is the meaning of shrinking of product life cycle. So why does the product life cycle has shrunk? It is because of innovation in the digital era. So you have so many technology with which every few months you have a new product being released, and within a few months you find your the device is being outdated. So that is the reason, or that is the important crunch in the innovation in the digital era. So people are talking about innovation these days because of these reasons. So before some 10-20 years, if you launch a product and you can sit for another 10-15 years, so that you can expect another competitor coming to your field. But today is not the scenario. So the second point is that threat from the new competitors. So earlier we had the competitors a few in number, and we can expect you launch a new product that gets popularized in the market, and you can expect a competitor after a few years. Until then, your product is going to be a monopoly in the product in the market. But now it is not the situation. So I can say a number of industries which were booming in the previous years that has disappeared completely. ஒரு சில ப்ராடக்ட் மார்க்கெட்ல ரொம்ப அதிகமா யூஸ் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்து இப்ப காணாமலே போயிருக்கக்கூடிய நிறைய இண்டஸ்ட்ரியை நான் சொல்லிக்கிட்டே போக முடியும். ஐ கேன் சே ஒரு 20 years பிஃபோர் இந்த எஸ்டிடி ஐஎஸ்டி பிசிஓ பூத் பார்த்துருப்பீங்க. எவ்ரி நூக் அண்ட் கார்னர், ஒரு 4 கடைக்கு ஒரு கடைக்கு பக்கத்துல என்ன இருக்கும் அப்படின்னா ஒரு எஸ்டிடி ஐஎஸ்டி அப்படின்னு பூத் இருக்கும். இப்ப எங்கேயாவது அப்படி ஒரு எஸ்டிடி ஐஎஸ்டி பூத்தை பார்க்க முடியுதா? ஒரு 10 years the technology and innovation has evolved that people using their mobile phone can talk to anybody in the world at any time without spending a pie. Just if you have internet connectivity, you can speak to any person from anywhere. The concept of this STD, ISO, இது எல்லாமே என்ன ஆயிடுச்சு, ஒரு 2-3 years, or 10 years மேல இருக்கும் அந்த field. Everything has gone. I can tell you many industry. Have you heard about a device called pager? அந்த பக்கத்துல இருந்து ரெஸ்பான்ஸ் கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கீங்களா?
Yes sir, yes sir.
Pager, it's a text communicating device. இப்போ மொபைல் ஃபோன்ஸ்ல வாய்ஸ்ல கம்யூனிகேட் பண்றோம், டெக்ஸ்ட், வீடியோ, ஆடியோ, எவ்ரிதிங். So before the introduction of this mobile phones, we had a concept called pager. ஒரு சின்ன device, you can send the text messages, person to person text message அனுப்பலாம். ஒரு I was working in Chennai where I had a easy call as the company that was opposite to my company. அவங்க என்னன்னா pager company. They allowed to sell these pages and people were using it. ஒரு 5 years கூட இருக்காது. Now you don't have any concept of pager. You have a device with which you can have audio, video, whatnot. Everything can be communicated using a smartphone. That particular industry has gone. I'm telling you these information because the threat from a competitor is being increasing at a rapid rate. You cannot imagine a person sitting in some remote village in China will be a competitor for you. நீ ப்ரொடியூஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு புதுசா ஒரு ப்ராடக்ட் லான்ச் பண்றான் அப்படின்னு நினைச்சுக்கிட்டே இருப்ப, அதுக்கு காம்படிட்டர் ஒரு 8ஆம் கிளாஸ் பையன் அதுக்கு ஈக்குவலண்டா ஒரு ப்ராடக்டை எங்கேயோ ஒரு சைனால இருக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு வில்லேஜ்ல இருந்து உருவாக்கி இருப்பான். ஸோ இட் இஸ் தி globe has become a village, global village ன்னு சொல்லுவோம். Now you don't have a competitor next to you. Throughout the globe, anybody can become a competitor. And the third important factor that is moving this innovation in digital era is digitalization. Everything has been digitalized. The informations are being used in a huge manner that you can extract any information about anything in a no matter of time. So this is another reason by which this particular innovation in digital era has been very challenging. So those days, if you want to make a change in a product design, or a two-wheeler design இருக்கு அப்படின்னா அந்த two-wheeler உடைய டிசைனை சேஞ்ச் பண்றதுக்கு முன்னாடி ஒரு 10 years வச்சிருப்பாங்க அந்த டிசைன். After that only they will make a change in the new design, because to get the input from customers, அந்த பர்டிகுலர் ப்ராடக்ட்ல இருக்கக்கூடிய டிராபேக்ஸ் என்ன, புதுசா இன்னொரு ப்ராடக்ட்ல இருக்கக்கூடிய அட்வான்டேஜ் என்ன, அதெல்லாம் கம்பேர் பண்ணி ஒரு ப்ராடக்டை கொண்டு வரதுக்கு the information was very slow in moving. So due to the digitalization, now you are able to have data analytics, you have machine learning, you have artificial intelligence, and within no time you are able to find out what is drawback in your product and what are the essential features preferred by the customer. இது எல்லாமே in no time you are able to get. So using those information, the innovation team is going to change the things that can attract people. So these are three important areas which is going to be the key factor in the digital era in order to make innovation. And the two major criteria for innovation in digital era is, the olden days people were thinking about technical feasibility. That is whether the everything is technically possible. That was the question when you go for innovation in the olden days. Now everything is technically possible. You think of anything, that is possible. You might have seen fiction movies. For a few years முன்னாடி பறக்கக்கூடிய கார், பறக்கக்கூடிய மனிதர்கள், இப்படிலாம் வந்து ஃபிக்ஷன் மூவிஸ்ல இமேஜினரி திங்ஸ்ல தான் பார்த்திருக்கோம். But everything is being realized now, which means that technology has evolved in such a way that nothing is impossible. You imagine anything, the next day you see some people working on it and made it technically possible. But the only question is, it is feasible. Feasible means if you convert it into a commercialized product, will you be able to withstand in the market? So nowadays, the innovation in digital era is facing the challenge if the product or the idea that you are going to evolve is going to be technically feasible. Everything is possible, and if it is feasible, then you are going to reach. So these are the important criteria you should keep in mind. The students who are going to who are available in the digital era should have this. So the shrinking of product cycle has made many innovative thinking possible, and the threat from the competitor is not very less. You cannot imagine your competitors. So people never thought of in the renting industry. They never imagine a concept like Ola, Uber, and things like that, where a person sitting in some place does not own a single car is earning such a huge money by a simple concept. And people in the rental car industry, everybody has fallen. அந்த ரெண்டல் இண்டஸ்ட்ரியில கார் வச்சிருந்தவங்க எல்லாருமே அடி வாங்கிட்டாங்க. காரணம் என்ன அப்படின்னா, அந்த ஒரு சிம்பிள் கான்செப்ட், யாரோ ஒருத்தருடைய ஐடியா, why to have இந்த கான்செப்ட், இது எல்லாத்தையும் கமர்ஷியலைஸ் பண்ணி ஒரு சிங்கிள் வெப்சைட் மூலமா. தி ஹோட்டல் இண்டஸ்ட்ரி, அதுல இந்த ஓயோ அப்படின்ற கான்செப்ட் உள்ள வந்ததுக்கு அப்புறம் நிறைய ஹோட்டல் இண்டஸ்ட்ரி they are facing challenges. So that is what I am saying. New competitors can emerge from any place. So only innovation is the inevitable solution for all these categories. I think these are the things that I wanted to share. If you have any queries, you can ask me now.
Sir, one query comes in chat box.
Yes, sir.
It's from Professor Prinjivenan, sir.
Okay.
What is the procedure to start an incubation center in the college?
Yes, in the national startup policy, clear-cut rules are given for how to start up incubation center, or you have to go for a pre-incubation center. You can apply for funds to the Ministry of Education. So Ministry of Education has a lot of funds for this particular purpose. The second alternative is, you can approach any industry people. Suppose we are going to have an incubation center in electronics. You can approach any industry and you can give your proposal. And there are many other places where you can approach, with which you can get funding. But before going to that, you should have a clear-cut policy of what you are going to plan. So based on that particular plan, if you can approach the Ministry of Education, or if you can go through this national policy, they have given clear-cut idea of whom to approach and how to approach. So that can be, you can go through this particular document and find a solution. Still, if you are interested in going through this information, since I have attended some conference on this innovation ambassador policy, we have some documents that they have circulated with which you can use it for applying for this particular things. You can ask him to approach me. I can give you all these informations.
Thank you, sir. One more question, sir.
Yes.
Is there any scheme available from IIC to support funding for research projects?
For this, definitely, if it is an individual person, you can apply. And in the IIC now, in the 2019 policy, institutional innovation fund has to be established. And if you approach the management, definitely the management will support in converting your ideas into commercial products. Previously, it was not available. Now, the institutions, those are having this IIC council, they have to keep 1% of the annual budget for this particular purpose for the staff and students. So you can very well ask your management regarding this, and they'll be able to provide you with funding.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. If you have some more queries, I am ready to answer. Or thank you for the opportunity for sharing some of my information with you.
Thankfulness is the beginning of gratitude. Gratitude is the completion of thankfulness. It may consist merely of words. Gratitude is shown in acts. I would like to invite Dr. N. Kurijivendan, sir, Assistant Professor and IIC member, to present vote of thanks.
A very good afternoon to all, ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls. Gratitude is the most expressive moment and makes a difference in your attitude. First and foremost, I thank God Almighty for blessings showered on us to conduct and successfully complete the program. I'd like to thank our beloved principal for providing infrastructure and the opportunity to conduct such type of programs. I would like to thank Dr. J. James Manoharan, sir, Head of the Department and Innovation Ambassador and IIC Coordinator, for his valuable suggestions and guidance. And I want to thank our resource person, Dr. A. Aloysius, sir, Innovation Ambassador, to readily accept our invitation to present the session. I want to mention a special thanks to all the faculty members of BCA department who rendered their help and support for conducting this useful program. I would like to thank Dr. S. Ranjit Kumar sir and Mrs. S. Bhanumati ma'am and N. Sridevi ma'am, IAC members of Institutions Innovation Council, for their help rendered to organize today's session. Last but not least, I thank all students who participated actively. We hope this session was really beneficial to you all. Thank you, one and all. Thank you.
So thank you, sir. Once again, we thank you all for readily accept our invitation and giving such a wonderful session. The session is very useful to us. As we IAC members, we came to know what is the really the policy tells about the Institution Innovation Council, what are all the terms and what are all the procedures to go our student team to hackathon like competitions. So the session is very useful to us on our students, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, dear students, for your active participation. We will meet in this type of virtual webinars in future. Thank you.